Did Augustine believe in predestination? Yes. More than 1,000 years before John Calvin, Augustine was teaching that salvation begins with God's grace, not with the sinner making the first move toward God. Even the beginning of faith, he argued, is a gift from God. A major influence was the Apostle Paul. In Romans 9, Paul grounds election not in human works or effort, but in God who calls and shows mercy. Augustine came to the same conclusion. God does not simply look into the future, discover who will believe, and then choose them because of that faith. The faith itself comes by grace. In On the Predestination of the Saints, Augustine puts it plainly. Predestination is the preparation for grace, while grace is the donation itself. For Augustine, then, election was not God rewarding something good he had first discovered in us. God chose his people so that, by grace, they would become what he intended them to be. And that grace did more than offer fallen man an opportunity. Augustine taught that God acts upon the human will itself. Grace takes away the heart of stone. Grace produces the willing response. Grace brings the sinner to faith. And Augustine carried the same reasoning through to perseverance. Remaining in the faith to the end was itself a gift of God. Augustine wrote, "I assert, therefore, that the perseverance by which we persevere in Christ, even to the end, is the gift of God." Those whom God had predestined would finally receive what they needed to persevere. So we have election, unmerited grace, faith given by God, a fallen will changed by grace, and perseverance as God's gift. All of this centuries before the Reformation. And Calvin knew exactly where he stood in relation to Augustine. Writing specifically in defense of predestination, Calvin said, "Augustine is so wholly with me," that he could have written a confession of his own faith from Augustine's writings. He even said that, on the question he was defending, Augustine did not differ from him one pin's point. Calvin did not think he had invented this doctrine. He believed Augustine had already taught it. Whatever one thinks of later Reformed theology, the historical point is difficult to escape. Predestination was certainly not invented by Calvin.